Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm here to do my September TBR. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right in and get started. Oh, if you hear that noise, I just hit my lamp in the corner here. Sorry. But fall is on its way, and it's my favorite time of year, so I picked some cozy reads that are fall appropriate. I also had a little bit of a theme going on for this TBR video, which you will soon see. Well, more like 3 separate themes, but yeah, let's go ahead and get started. The first book I chose is Before We Were Strangers by Renee Carlino, and this is a book I recently hauled that I am super excited to get to, and I will link the haul video right now if you want to go check that out. It's a little miniature unboxing. I'll also link it in the description box for you to access as well. But yeah, Before We Were Strangers, and it says it is a love, and love is crossed out, then it writes hate, then hate is crossed out, love story. And this is basically a missed connection, second chance type of love story about 2 people who knew each other in the past about 10 years ago or so. While they went to 15 years ago, they met at NYU, which is short for New York University in New York City. And I guess they kind of fell in love and they began this relationship, and then something happens, they have a falling out, years go by, and I suppose one of them spots the other one on the subway station and kind of starts to think about what might have been, what could have been, and wants to reconnect. So my camera cut off, I don't remember what I was saying, but this is a second chance love story, and I guess we get to watch their journey as they reconnect. There might be some flashbacks also involved, I'm sure, if they want to Renee wants to give us a peek into this couple's relationship 15 years ago, so I'm sure there's some cool flashbacks. And I absolutely love that the setting is New York City. You guys know that's my absolute favorite place ever. I used to live there. I lived there for 8 years. I actually went to NYU as well. So that's another reason I'm really interested in reading this. I want to see, how it captures New York University life and how accurate it is. And I don't know, I think that would be kind of cool for me reading this one. So that's why I chose this, and I just, it's fall, it's cozy, and I feel like love stories fit very perfectly with fall months. I mean, they really fit perfectly with any time of year. And if you know me and you know how much I love romance, then this makes perfect sense. The next book I have here is This Song Will Save Your Life by Leela Sales. And I am finally getting to this book. I bought this book, oh my goodness, it has to be at least over a year now on Book Outlet, after, it was kind of hyped up on BookTube a while back, and I've been dying to read it ever since. This is a young adult novel about a young girl who's struggling to fit in high school, and she discovers this underground club, or, something about the club is very risque, at least for her, seeing as she's 15, and she kind of discovers this underground music scene, and I think she might, play with being a DJ or something of that nature. I'm not sure. It's been a long time since I've read The Dust Jacket, but I'm really excited to read this finally. I've heard nothing but great things about this book. Every booktuber who I watch who has read this book and reviewed it has raved. So I'm really excited to finally get to this, and I absolutely adore music. So a book, all about music, and with music as one of the characters, if you will, really excites me. The next 2 books I have to show you are on my schedule for the 10 books I'll read in 2016, and I'm a little bit behind schedule, so 2 of those books from that list are going to be read in September. If you watched my reading goals update video, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you didn't, I will link it now as well as in the description box, so you can kind of see where I am with my reading this year, as well as my plans moving forward, and how I plan on completing that goal I set for myself at the beginning of the year of the 10 specific books that I wanted to read this year. Whew! Now, with all that being said, let me introduce you to these 2 books. The first one I have here is I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. This is another young adult book, and I absolutely love Jandy Nelson and her writing. I've read her other book, The Sky is Everywhere. I believe that's what it's called, The Sky is Everywhere, and I really loved that book. That's probably one of my favorite young adult contemporaries that I've ever read. I just thought it was really well done. The characters really endeared themselves to me. The story was touching and heartfelt, and I just loved it. So people who've read that actually say that this is their favorite Jandy Nelson novel. So if they love this even more than that, then I'm really excited, and I'm sure I'm going to love this as well. I believe this features a brother and sister who kind of aren't speaking. They've had a falling out, and there's some flashbacks to, I guess, when they were closer, and I guess there's sort of a mystery as to what caused their falling out. And I suppose as the story goes along, that mystery is unraveled, and I guess we just get to see life from their dual points of view, and I'm just really excited. I've heard nothing but great things, like I said already, and I cannot wait to get to this. The next book that is on my 10 books I'll read in 2016 schedule to be read in this month is just Reading Winter by Marissa Meyer, and finally finishing this series. The Lunar Chronicles is one of my favorite young adult series, and I just fell in love with it when I started reading it. I think it was a year ago, or a little over a year ago, and it's just finally time for me to finish this series up. I feel like I'm trying to wrap up as many series as I can this year so that when I start 2017 I won't be overwhelmed by all the series that I need to either complete or continue. So if I can knock this series off the list, then I will be very happy to do so. Winter is the conclusion, like I said, and it features another character, and I believe this book mostly takes place on Lunar, which is going to be fascinating. I can't wait to see what the crew is up to and to catch up with all my favorite characters and to be introduced to this new character, and I'm sure some other new characters as well in this conclusion, and just to see how Marissa Meyer wraps up everything. And yeah, I'm really excited to finally get to this. I'll probably have to reread the last couple pages of Crest or look on Wikipedia or something, or Goodreads, just to kind of jog my memory on what happened towards the end of that novel before I start this one. But of course I'll be doing a wrap up at the end of the month or the beginning of October to let you know how I liked it. The next theme is about to begin, and the next series of books are sort of series completions or series continuations or series beginnings. But yeah, series is the next theme of this TBR video. I start off with A Court of Thorns and Roses by the Queen, Sarah J. Maas, or Maas. And I actually started this book a couple months ago, and I pre-ordered this book, and I started reading it before I even picked up the first Throne of Glass novel. I was just really curious, and so I pre-ordered it. It came, I started it, and I kind of fell into a reading slump with it. I was enjoying it, don't get me wrong, but somewhere in the 30 to 40% mark I just stopped reading, and I haven't picked it back up. So I definitely want to finish this up, especially because I have the second novel here on my shelf somewhere, right here, A Court of Mist and Fury, and I really want to get to it. And also I have fallen in love with the Throne of Glass series. You guys will hear more about that in my wrap-up video. If I filmed it already and posted it already, I will link it now. I'm pre-filming, so I'm not sure. If not, then it'll be coming soon, and once I have posted it, I will link it here and in the description. But yeah, I have fallen in love with the Throne of Glass series. I am obsessed now. I am a fangirl now for that series. Absolutely in love with it. And so I just am on the Sarah J. Maas train officially. So I have just been re-inspired to get back to this book. So I will definitely be completing it this month. Next in my series list is series continuation, and that is A Torch Against the Night by Sabaa Tahir. I just finished, I'm filming this video on September 1st, happy September, but I literally just finished last night on the very last day of August, the 31st. I just finished An Ember in the Ashes, and I absolutely loved it. I fell in love with Sabaa Tahir and her writing. That story just really spoke to me. I found it to be inventive and fresh and interesting, heartbreaking, touching. I loved it, and I absolutely loved that it wasn't exactly what I was expecting. I didn't have a lot of expectations going in, and I'd avoided being spoiled or kind of like overexposed to the storyline, so go me. So of course I pre-ordered A Torch Against the Night, and it just arrived via Amazon Prime this evening, so I will be diving right into this ASAP. Another book on my series continuation list is actually a series that is more of a companion series, and that is Crimson Bound by Rosamund Hodge. I read Cruel Beauty a year ago or so, and you know, I had some problems with it, I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't you know, completely bowled over. I believe I gave it a 3 or 3.5 stars. But what really caught me was Rosamund Hodge and her writing. I did enjoy it, and I was intrigued, and the inventiveness of the storyline blew me away. I'd never read anything like it before. The world was completely new. The ideas and just how she pulled from different mythologies, I really enjoyed that. So, you know, I'm really interested in to see what she does next, which is why I picked this up from the library. And I am actually currently reading this. I'm about 80 pages in, and I'm really interested. I'm loving this world. It's very French inspired. And Cruel Beauty was a retelling of Beauty and the Beast. And Crimson Bound, this one is a retelling of Red Riding Hood. So it's so fascinating. She's created a completely separate world from the one in Cruel Beauty. But, you know, it's a series because they're all fairy tale retellings, I suppose. But this book is another completely original world. I'm just blown away by Rosamund Hodge's imagination. Like, so cool. And this world is French inspired. I think I already said that. It reminds me very much of the court of Versailles. And there are also some darker elements in there as well. There's a supernatural element as well. You know, there's sort of an end of the world type of vibe to this as well. I mean, there's just so much going on. And the main character is such a kick-butt character. And you know how much I love kick-butt female protagonists. She fights. She's great with the sword. She's tough. She's been through some hard things. She's made some bad decisions, which has shaped her. And, I mean, that's right up my alley. I love all that stuff. So I'm really enjoying this, and of course I will let you guys know how I feel about it in my wrap-up video at the beginning of next month. Next up is series continuation once again. Reaching over to pick up this book, y'all. And this is Firewalker by Josephine Angelini, and this is book 2 in the, what is the name of this series? This series has a really random name, and I can never remember it. The World Walker trilogy. And this book is about alternate realities, alternate universes, and I think I will link my video where I talk about the first book. I think it was my July wrap-up video. I'll link it right now. But I raved about the first book, Trial by Fire. There we go. There we go. Had a little bit of a brain fart there. Fart. I hate that word. Let's pretend I didn't say that. I hate that word. But yes, I loved Trial by Fire. So of course I ran to the library literally the next day after I finished it to pick up, what is this? Firewalker. Oh, I'm losing it, y'all. Losing it. Late night filming. Losing it. To pick up Firewalker. And it put me in a slump. I'm not gonna lie. Put me in a reading slump. I read all the way up until, I'd say 40% or so, and then I was kind of put it down and I haven't picked it back up, and yeah, it got predictable. At least I think it's heading in a predictable direction, which I don't like. So I'm hoping there's a twist ahead to get me back into the series. I'm gonna finish it regardless. I've already pre-ordered the third book, so it's kind of like, but you know, I love Josephine Angelini. Her writing is really easy to read and captivating. The way she just ensnares you is really cool, and her worlds are always really unique and different. And I just love her as an author. So, you know, I'm gonna finish the series regardless. So I'm gonna try to push myself through this one, and hopefully it doesn't go in that predictable direction that I'm feeling, because I don't want that to happen. I don't want that to happen. Next up is a book that would be series completion, and I feel like I've talked about this book in so many videos, but this is another book that has put me in a slump, not with reading in general, just with this book. I feel like I get in reading slumps for individual books, not necessarily for reading as a whole. But reaching over to grab it here, The Beauty of Darkness. And this is the third and final book in the Remnant Chronicles by Mary E. Pearson. You guys know I love the Remnant Chronicles. I loved The Kiss of Deception. I absolutely adored the second book, whatever it's called, The Heart of Betrayal. I think that was my favorite book so far. And The Beauty of Darkness, you know, it's huge. Look how big this book is. When it came, I was so excited because I love big books, and especially in series I love. It reminds me kind of when every Harry Potter book would come out and they just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and I would get so excited because when you truly love a series, the more there is to read, the more excited you are because you just can't wait to get back to the world and those characters. But this book, you know, so far has disappointed me. It's a slow start. And the main protagonist, I can't remember her name because I'm that pissed, Leah, she's just kind of pissing me off in this book. You know, like all the progress that we've made with Leah since book 1, I feel like it's going down the drain in this book. She's pissing me off. She's acting like a spoiled brat and it's turned me off a bit. But I'm gonna struggle through. I'm gonna push through because I really want to finish this series and just know that it's done and just not have to worry about it anymore moving forward. So I'm gonna force myself to finish this, and I really, really hope that the last half rallies and gets me back in love with this series, because I really do love it. And you guys know I struggle with last book in a series. I feel like there's a curse that I'm struggling through. Last book in a series curse. I'll love the series and I get to the last book and it's like, what does that sound even mean? Please, please, Mary Pearson, don't let me down. And the last book I have in this little theme going on is, drumroll please, The Rose Society by Marie Lu. And this is the second book in the Rose Society? No, the Young Elites. The Young Elite series. Bam. And this is another library book. And yeah, you know, I love the Young Elites. It was great. Really, really, really sucked me in. And it's been a really long time since I've read it. But it stayed with me. It's actually don't have to reread it because I remember everything that happened. So I can dive back into this one. See, that is a good sign of a good book. And especially first books in a series. Like if it's been a year, over a year, and you're trying to move on to the next book and you can still remember major plot points and you don't need to reread the first book, that is good writing. I'm just saying. Just saying. Go Marie Lu. Go. You go, girl. You did it. You did that thing. But yes, The Rose Society. Oh, glare, 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 glare. Oh. Pull it together. Pull it together. And the final book I have to show you guys is a book that just needs to be read. I believe the sequel is coming out soon, some point this fall. I will notate or annotate it right here on the screen because I don't remember the exact date. But I have not read this book yet. And it's for one of my favorite series. Not one of my favorite series. Am I crazy? My favorite series of all time. Probably already guessed it. Book 1 in the illustrated books. Yep, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. And as many of you should know, actually all of you should know, if you don't, I mean, who are you? And why are you watching my channel? But yes, they are re-releasing all the Harry Potter books in these new beautiful illustrated editions. And the second one comes out soon. This fall, I hope, I believe, maybe I'm wrong, hope not. Look at these pictures. I swear this glare is killing me. Can you guys see that? There we go. Kind of, not really. Sorry about the glare. But yes, the illustrations are absolutely phenomenal. And I'm still shocked that I haven't read this yet. I've kind of flipped through it because, I mean, hi, I've sniffed it. Because, hello, it's Harry Potter. But yeah, this is giving me all the Harry Potter feels, and I usually reread Harry Potter every year in the end of summer, fall, so it just feels right. It just feels right. It just feels right. So, that's it. I believe I showed you 11 books, if I'm not wrong. Yes, I showed you 11 books, and I may read more, I may not. I don't know yet, guys. Okay, it's a lot of pressure. And these aren't even all of them. I'm missing Harry Potter, but I'm not trying to drop no books in this video. Okay, we're not going to start that trend on my channel. So these are most of the books that I will be reading this month. Fingers crossed. And that's it for this video. Let me put these books down. I ain't trying to drop nothing, okay? No. That is it for this video. Yes, fall. I'm so excited. I can't wait. Oh, cannot wait for the leaves to turn and for the weather to cool and all that good stuff. And I will catch you guys in my next video. love you all so much. Don't forget to subscribe and to like and to comment and all that good stuff. And I will catch you in my next one. Bye.